Welcome to Lesson 18, using the ADO.NET Entity Framework. Most web applications are used to collect, manipulate, and share information. To do that, they need a way to manage data easily. The ADO.NET Entity Framework is Microsoft's recommended data access technology. With the ADO.NET Entity Framework, your application uses a conceptual data model called the Entity Data Model to manage the data. If you need to create a SQL Server database in your application, that's a three-step process. First, you create the App Data folder. Then you right-click the App Data folder and select New Item from the Add window to open the Add New Item dialog box. On the Add New Item dialog box, select the SQL Server Database template, enter a name for the database, and click the Add button. Finally, you're ready to add objects to your new SQL Server database. To open the Entity Data Model wizard, right-click a folder in the Solution Explorer window and select New Item from the Add menu to open the Add New Item dialog box. Click Data to display only the data templates, select the ADO.NET Entity Data Model template, enter a name for the new model, and click the Add button. And now you are in the Entity Data Model wizard. Go through each of the steps, and when you are finished, you will have completed your Entity Data Model. Language Integrated Query, also known as LINQ, is a set of features that provides standard, easily learned patterns for querying and updating data. LINQ to Entities is used to read and update the data in an entity data model. With LINQ to Entities, you can create strongly typed queries against your entity data model by using LINQ expressions. A LINQ expression is a query expressed in query syntax. A LINQ expression begins with a from clause and ends with a select or group clause. Between the first from clause and the last select or group clause, it can contain one or more where, order by, join, let, and even additional from clauses. With LINQ to Entities, it's easy to perform the create, read, update, and delete operations on your data. In this lesson, you create the Data Layer project for use in the upcoming lessons. You use the Entity Data Model wizard to create the Entity Data Model used by the Data Layer project. The recipes.mdf file is required for this lesson. Before you start this lesson, create a new subfolder called Data Layer under the C:ASP.NET Trainer folder and copy the recipes.mdf file into that folder. To start this lesson, select New Project, search for the class library, and enter Data Layer for the name of the class. Finally, click the OK button. Delete the default class and add an entity data model by selecting Data and ADO.NET Entity Data Model as the template and entering datamodel.edmx for the name of the Entity Data Model and click the Add button. This will open up the Entity Data Model wizard. Select Generate from Database and hit Next. Click the New Connection button and navigate to the Data Layer folder you just created. And select recipes.mdf. Go ahead and test your connection. Oh, the test connection succeeded. Is it okay? Now that it will automatically populate the connection string for you. Update the name of this to recipe DB entities. It's very important. This is the name you'll use in the lessons that follow that are going to actually refer to this data layer. Say no. You do not want to include it in the project. Now select all the tables and click the Finish button. Here's your data entity model. Now build your project and you're finished.